So, herzlich willkommen zurück zu meinem ersten Let's Play, Chicken-Police Painted Red. Wir haben jetzt herausgefunden, dass eventuell unter Umständen der verrückte Bruder von Even Wessler seinen Platz eingenommen hat, weil er sich auch in die Miezekatze verliebt hat. Ja, nächster Schritt ist, in die Wessler-Residenz zu gehen und ihn damit zu konfrontieren und zu gucken, ob das stimmt. Ja, ich bin gespannt, wie es weitergeht. Viel Spaß!
The sun was shining, and all the ducks were in a row. I felt ready. The pieces of the grand puzzle were laid out on the table. I just needed to piece them all together. A revealing glance or a careless word, and I'd have the answer. I knew we were in the right place. I knew it was nearly over. Was Natasha really just a victim? Or did she know everything? Was she controlling the puppets from behind the curtain? Well, if you don't know where to go straight ahead. What could possibly go wrong? Here I am, Natasha. I hope you're waiting for me.
Furry gods. I knew he was rich, but wow.
Ja, wow.
Half the city is in his hands, Marty, and half the Council of 12.
I think we'll catch a big fish today.
Don't count your chickens. I'm sure Wessler's expecting us, and Natasha too, I hope.
You hope?
If I'm right, she could be our only chance of survival.
Lovely prospects, huh?
I've had worse.
Really? What the hell is it? Water tower? Turret? A frickin' lighthouse?
I think it's a monument to an enormous ego, Marty.
Well, anyone who builds a tower this big must be trying to compensate for something.
Or he just has too much dough.
Quite the steed, isn't it?
Seems nowadays organized crime pays well in Clawville.
Are you surprised? The chicken police retired.
Well, they say the team's back together again.
Nah, that's impossible.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Hey, not so fast, chickens. Please excuse my partner. He didn't mean to be rude, it's just his terrible habits, as you may already know.
Ich bin ja auch noch nicht mit angucken fertig. Ich habe nur aus
Is
Versehen
this a
drauf geklickt.
mansion? Or a grand palace?
Or a small city.
Well, if it comes to hide and seek, old Wessler will have an advantage.
A serious advantage.
Huh, one of Wessler's ancestors, maybe.
Wessler's ancestors were poor cobblers. More likely, this represents what he thinks of himself.
I wonder how chivalry is compatible with organized crime.
Ibn was planning to leave the underworld.
When his twin brother tore out his tongue, poked out his eye, killed him, and took his place?
Yeah.
Oh, this place has its own greenhouse.
Heilige Scheiße.
What do you
ey.
think's inside?
100% humidity and unbearable heat.
Oh, not like that. Could they be growing rarities in there?
Or maybe some chicken-eating giant flower monsters.
What? Oh, you just made that up, right? Nah, I'm sure there's no such thing.
Oh, sicher?
Ah, look what the cat dragged in.
Funny, I don't recognize them.
Well, maybe if they had some guns with them? Tommy guns?
Oh, yeah. Now I remember. The two suckers in the luxury van you shot to pieces. Twice.
Exactly.
What are you doing here, chickens? Would you like us to finish what we started?
We'd love to have fun with you boys, but we need to talk to your boss. And while we're at it, the lady of the house is also expecting us.
Dann noch ein Vidaya.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's so horny.
In that case, I guess there's no reason for us to waste your precious time. Isn't that right, Gabriel? Get the hell out of our sight while there are still feathers on your skin, chickens.
Easy, pal. We're not even here anymore. Until next time, boys. This must lead to Wessler and Natasha's suite.
Let's get the big guns out and kick the door down.
No need for that, Marty. We'll wait until they invite us in, like real gentlemen. Then maybe we'll need the guns. But I hope it won't come to that.
Oh, my trigger finger's itching, Sonny. Someone's gotta pay.
Relax, Marty. Someone is gonna pay.
Yeah, just don't let it be us.
Ach, guck mal da.
It's like the vegetation's trying to suffocate these beautiful walls.
Maybe it will. Maybe in 100 years, nothing will be here but plants. An endless, planet-sized jungle.
That's quite a dark thought.
Yeah, it is.
This place is incredible, but it kinda gives me the creeps.
Because you know what lies behind the beauty.
With Natasha, too?
I haven't decided yet. Not yet. First, we should talk to Natasha.
Ach so.
You're right, Sonny.
Wissen wir. Also die Türen. Okay. Verstehe. Mein Fehler. Hallo.
Ah, what a pleasant surprise. Hello, Olivia. Sweetie.
Get lost.
What did you say, ma'am?
Turn around and get the hell out of here now, if you want to make it out with feathers intact.
Come on, Olivia. Don't worry about us. We know what we're doing.
Martin,
Huh?
don't you get it? You have to get out of here or you'll be in danger, and also her.
Do you mean Natasha? Please calm down, miss. We have to talk to Mr. Wessler and Miss Katsenko.
You really don't understand, do you?
Ah. Mitzi.
What do they not understand, Olivia? So, what is it exactly that our guests don't understand?
I was trying to tell the detectives that Mr. Wessler's very tired and doesn't welcome guests this early. He gets rather irate if he's being disturbed at this hour.
I'm sure Mr. Featherland and Mr. McChicken can wait here while Ibn refreshes himself. I'll entertain them until then.
Thank you, Miss, Katsenko.
Please, Sonny, I thought we've already discussed this. Call me Natasha.
Please, Natasha, can we talk to you in private?
Martin?
It's all right, Olivia. These gentlemen are my friends.
Yes, Miss Katsenko.
Ah, was meint ihr? Ja.
I tried to warn you.
Thanks, Olivia?
Olivia versuchte uns aus Wesslers Herrensitz zu verscheuchen. Merkwürdig, aber sie schien sich echte Sorgen um uns zu machen. Ja, die weiß irgendwas, was wir gleich
The
rausfinden werden.
truth is, Ibn isn't really in a good shape today, gentlemen. He's rather furious. Are you sure this can't wait?
You commissioned us, Natasha, and we barely escaped with our combs intact.
So you know who left the threats?
Oh, we know much more than that, Natasha. We even know where you used to work. We talked to Madame Zavas.
Wild gods.
Why didn't you tell us?
Do you think it's easy for a woman to talk about such things, that she used to be an escort?
Along with Molly?
So you know.
Yeah, I know, Natasha. I also know all of this was a trap.
Believe me, I tried to handle things the least painfully I could. You weren't even supposed to know.
A lot shouldn't have happened. Poor Deborah shouldn't have had to die.
Dear sweet Deborah.
Cold, stiff Deborah.
Please don't say that.
A price worth paying?
You cannot think I had anything to do with that. You just cannot.
I don't know, Natasha.
Please, Sonny, tell me, what is going on?
You have to know, right?
Please.
Excuse me for making you wait, detectives. I'm having a rough morning after a long night.
Is that so? Our night was also kinda long.
To put it mildly.
I was just telling the gentleman that you were exhausted, my dear, and they should come back another time. I'll escort them out.
Oh, honey, no need for that. My door's always open to the legendary chicken police. Please, come on in, guys. Let's talk in my room.
Then this way, please.
You just stay here, my darling. I'm sure our conversation will bore you to death. Please, go and refresh yourself, or tell Olivia to go make some coffee.
Yes, dear. Whatever you like.
Please, follow me, gents.
Lead on, Wessler. So long, sweetheart.
Goodbye.
Achso, mit der kann man noch reden?
I tried to warn you.
Thanks?
Okay, Klappe.
This estate is rather impressive, Mr. Wessler.
Well, thank you.
I suppose it took years and years of cumbersome work to build it.
Yeah. As you say, Mr. Featherland, I'm rather proud of it.
You should be. Whoever built this place has a reason to be proud of himself.
Are you trying to say something?
No, just thinking aloud.
Ach, gucke mal.
Impressive bed. Looks cozy.
Sure is better than a cell.
That's right, Marty.
I'm not sure I understand, gentlemen.
We'll see about that.
Miskatenko.
This painting.
It's beautiful and rather provocative. Almost makes my comb stand up.
I'm not surprised.
But the corner is missing.
Ah,
You're right, Sonny. You're quite the observer.
Well, yeah, this painting's unfortunately damaged. I don't know where the missing piece could be.
You don't know? Well, if you're interested, we know exactly where it is.
Really?
Really. It's here with us.
An insignificant little piece, isn't it? But there's an exciting cat scratch on it.
More like a rat scratch, because it's a monogram.
A.W.
That's...
Albert Wessler. He's a great painter. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Enough! Out with it already. What are you trying to say? I have no time for your childish charades.
Easy, Wessler. We'll get to that in a bit.
so habe ich jetzt alles ange... Ach nee, der Nachttisch muss ich noch durchsuchen.
Do you keep a revolver in your bedroom?
Yeah, a bad habit. One who has a lot to lose has a lot to fear.
I agree.
Yeah, would you like a drink? This is a rather rare brandy. It lifts the spirits, if I may be so, poetic.
Really? Tempting, but I need to keep a clear head, Mr. Wessler.
Yeah, I've heard you don't despise a good vintage.
And I've heard you don't despise murder, Wessler. By the way, you've heard right. But everything has its place and time. Drinks, guns, dead bodies, and the truth.
Yeah, I see you're in a poetic mood as well.
More like prophetic.
And that's not a good sign.
Yeah. Are you trying to intimidate me?
No, that's not how we do business. We're gentlemen.
I really hope so.
Gut. Personen. Natascha wollte uns von Wesslers zu Hause fortschicken. Warum? Nur aus Sorge um uns oder hat sie ein anderes Motiv? Ich denke, die beiden wissen, dass das der Adam ist. Albert, Entschuldigung. So, dann wollen wir mal.
So, what do you want to know? I've heard you've been through a rather eventful few days.
Oh, you have rather good informants.
Yeah, that's true. I should tell you, I see and hear everything that happens in the city. And you are exceptionally resilient. No offense.
None taken. But tell me, are we gonna flatter each other for a long time, or are we finally done with the courting?
Straight to the point. I like it. Yeah, so let's continue like that, shall we? What do you want? How dare you intrude upon me in my own house?
Oh, forgive us. Our moral compass has been confused a little bit after someone tried to kill us several times in the last 48 hours. With fire, with machine guns. I could go on.
And while we're at it, you could answer some of our questions. If you've nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear.
And then we'll just leave you alone.
All right. I'll go along with your childish little game. I would have had a long and tedious day ahead of me anyway. So, can we start?
Aber
With
gerne
pleasure,
doch.
Mr. Wessler.
So.
I have no idea what she sees in you, but Natasha's been seriously worried about you.
Yeah, she, really worries more than usual, but it's understandable. Those disgusting messages.
Disgusting, all right. Do you know why that word exactly? Why did they write that specific word everywhere?
Since you've been to the Nile, I guess you know the answer to your question.
Didn't it bother you, Wessler? What Natasha used to do? Surely it must have upset you.
Why? Did it upset you when you discovered your wife did the same thing?
What did you just say?
What did you think, chicken? That I didn't know? Yeah, don't make me laugh. I know about everyone who ever set foot in that place. I can even tell you who Molly's regulars were, if you're interested.
You son of a bitch.
Sonny, don't.
Ist das ein Knurren eines Hahns?
Yes, detective?
Not yet.
You're right, Marty. It's not worth it.
You're funny, you know that?
About the painting.
Yeah. My brother Albert made it. He's a great talent, but, still, he's a rather troubled individual.
Such self-criticism.
What did you say?
My partner means that you and your brother are very much alike. Identical twins, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed. But, what does that have to do with the painting?
We'll get to that. Don't worry, Mr. Wessler. So Albert made the painting at your request, is that right? And the one that's in Natasha's room in the Tsar, too.
Yeah, exactly. Is that a crime?
No, it's not a crime in itself. This picture, it's rather strange, you know?
Why do you think so? It's just me, Natasha, and my brother.
The photo doesn't tell much in itself, yes. But if you already have the right information, suddenly it starts to talk.
Really?
He fell in love with her, didn't he?
Who do you mean?
Albert, of course. He fell in love with Natasha. All those sessions while he was painting the pictures. Were you there every time?
You mean, me?
You.
No, I mean, while Albert was painting, yeah, but I wasn't there all the time. Albert was there, all along.
And do you think he could have fallen in love with Natasha? That's why he escaped? What do you think happened to him? Who tore out his tongue?
I have no idea.
Did Natasha know about what happened to your brother?
No, of course not.
Do you love beautiful things, Wessler?
Why do you ask that? Yeah, of course.
You were afraid of losing her, weren't you? To him.
Stop. Enough. If you want to ask something, ask clearly. Don't play with me. You understand?
We're just doing our job.
Then do it clearly. And quickly. Yeah, I'm really starting to lose my patience.
Gut, dann wollen wir mal.
We visited Albert's cell and found something he seems to have forgotten to take with him in his great hurry.
That's a big mistake.
A classic, even.
What the hell are you babbling about?
This is Albert Wessler's love letter to Natasha,
More like a confession.
in which he tells her he's capable of doing anything for her, even the most horrible things.
Yeah, this letter doesn't prove anything at all. Albert is mad. Insane. He's not normal. No one would believe his word, don't you understand?
But they believe yours, right? Because you're not Albert Wessler. You're Hobart Ibn Wessler, aren't you? How good it feels to be in his skin.
How dare you?
Just tell him, Sonny. I'm getting tired of this.
You're just a cheap fake, Albert. You couldn't follow in your brother's footsteps even if you wanted to. No matter how hard you tried, you couldn't get Natasha either. Am I right?
What? What did you just say?
She hates you, doesn't she? She doesn't know. She doesn't understand why. But she hates you. It's instinctive.
Yeah, what do you know? What could you possibly know about suffering and loneliness and the darkness? What could you know about hate, huh?
Ich glaube, sie sind auf dem richtigen Weg. Dann vernehmen wir den Jungen mal. Ja, oder auch nicht.
Albert is an imposter. He's not who he says he is, and might not even know who he really is. I have to concentrate on this first, to soften him up, and to avoid us being shot in the gizzard, of course.
Was haben Sie sich eingebildet, Albert? Wie lange wollten Sie das alles denn durchhalten?
What were you thinking, Albert? How long did you think you could keep it up?
Until the end of my life, if needs. Yeah, I cared about nothing except for her to love me. Not for who Ibn was, but for who I am.
Why did you think that would happen? Everybody noticed the change.
Yeah, I knew it would be hard, Santino. But I also knew animals see what they want to see. I didn't have to behave like Ibn. They only had to believe I'm him.
Okay. Warum haben Sie sich entschieden, an die Stelle Ihres Bruders zu treten? Sie wollten alle um Ihre schmutzigen kleinen Finger wickeln, nicht wahr? Warum, weiß man ja, oder?
You wanted to wrap everyone around your dirty little fingers, didn't you?
I couldn't involve anyone. You have to understand. No one besides myself, of course.
So, you included yourself in the plan, and did you agree with you?
Do you think it's funny, Santino? The position I'm in? Do you think I did it for power?
You wanted to rule over something, didn't you? Especially over Natasha.
I wanted to rule my fate. My actions, my will, myself. And yeah, then over everyone else who ever did me wrong, or who I once loved.
Such selflessness.
Selflessness? Don't make fun of yourself, Sonny. Selflessness is the refuge of the weak and cowardly. Tell me, did you act out of selflessness when you decided to involve your partner in all this?
No, Mr. Wessler, but it's not about me.
You see? You two are just hypocrites, pathetic statues. But under your stone skids, you're nothing but rotting corpses.
Have you ever thought that maybe you should have become a psychologist?
Yeah, you won't be laughing for long, Santino. I guarantee it.
Haben Sie es genossen, Ihrem Bruder die Zunge herauszureißen? Wie fühlte sich das an? Warum mussten Sie ihn verstümmeln? Warum ihn nicht einfach sofort töten? Genießen Sie es, über andere zu bestimmen, Albert. Haben Sie jemals geglaubt, dass Sie Ibn Wessler sind?
Why did you have to mutilate Ibn? Why didn't you just kill him immediately?
That's an interesting question, you see, but the answer is exceptionally simple. No matter how strange it is for you to understand, I loved my brother.
Weird way of showing your love, Albert.
You can't understand that. He was my everything, the only one who was close to me. Until I met Natasha.
She took your brother's place pretty quickly, didn't she? There's not much room in your heart, as I see it.
Yeah, you're understanding the situation, Detective, but you know, very well it's not that simple. Ibn was my brother. I loved him despite all of his flaws and foul, petty lies. And that's why I couldn't kill him.
Not immediately, you mean?
Unfortunately, tearing out his tongue wasn't enough. Yeah, I must admit I've underestimated him.
And poking out his eye?
Oh, that was just an accident, Mr. Featherland.
Ist draufgefallen oder was?
Just an accident? You're a dirty, clucking son of a vermin, Albert.
Please, don't be vulgar, Sonny. It's too dangerous in your current situation, and doesn't even suit you.
Sie glauben also, dass Sie gleichzeitig zwei Personen sind und das sogar jetzt. Haben Sie es genossen, Ihrem Bruder die Zunge rauszureißen? Wie fühlt sich das an? Genießen Sie es, über andere zu bestimmen? Das ist jetzt schon das zweite Mal.
Does it make you happy to control others, Albert?
I was never the type. Not until I become one with my brother. He was different. He lived for this. He wanted to rule everything he set his gaze upon.
Haven't you done the same with Natasha?
I did, Detective. Yeah, exactly the same. And that's when I started to become one with my brother.
Do you mean before brutally mutilating and killing him?
Yeah. Long before that, Detective.
Oh, immer weiter ins Minus, ne? Wie kamen Sie nur auf die Idee, dass Sie Natascha tauschen könnten? Was hätten Sie getan, wenn Natascha etwas bemerkt hätte? Auch Sie umgebracht?
What would you have done if Natasha found out? Kill her too?
You know what? Maybe yeah. Maybe I would have ended myself too.
Narcissistic pricks like you never commit suicide, Albert.
Yeah. Are you sure you want to insult someone who's pointing a revolver at your stomach, Detective?
Ach Mann.
Albert is an imposter.
Ja, wissen wir.
What were you thinking, Albert?
Until the end.
Why did you think that would happen? Everybody noticed the change.
Yeah, I knew it would be.
So.
Why did you decide to take your brother's place?
Yeah, as you're curious. From the moment I laid eyes on Natasha for the first time. But I had to convince myself that this was the only way.
You've never talked about your feelings for Natasha with your brother, am I right?
Are you insane? Yeah, Ibn would have had me killed immediately. And no one would ever know.
So instead, you've done the same thing, haven't you? What a comfortable excuse.
Comfortable? Do you think all of this was just some kind of cruel game for me? I had to destroy the person I loved and respected the most.
Cry me a river.
Yeah, you know, there's only a thin, fragile membrane between love and hate. If anything touches it, it tears immediately. You felt like this before, haven't you? Yeah, I can see it in your eyes.
You can analyze me until the sun goes down, Wessler. But you won't get far with that.
Ja, das hilft ihm nicht wirklich.
Yeah, evasive answer. So I'm right.
Gut. Warum mussten sie ihn verstimmen? Warum ihn nicht einfach sofort töten? Haben sie jemals geglaubt, dass sie ihm Wessler sind? Ja.
Did you ever believe that you were Ibn Wessler?
Did I ever believe? I still do. I believed it all along. Don't you get it? I am Ibn Wessler.
And also Albert Wessler.
I see you're starting to understand.
Genießen sie es, über andere zu bestimmen? Sie glauben also, dass sie gleichzeitig...
So you feel you're two people at the same time, even now?
Does it sound crazy? Maybe it is. But Ibn lives inside me. Sometimes he's even stronger than Albert ever was.
Do you think you can avoid the gas chamber with this, Albert?
I don't have to avoid anything, Sonny. You and your friend, will never leave this place. It's better if you start getting used to the thought.
You're not the cold-blooded killer you'd like to think you are.
Yeah, do you think so? Try me, detective.
Das war also ihr Plan. Sie bringen ihn um und wenn sie nicht gestorben sind, dann leben sie noch heute. Wie kamen sie nur auf die Idee, dass sie Tatascha täuschen könnten?
That was your plan. Take his place and live happily ever after.
Why? Isn't it good enough of a plan, Mr. Featherland? It was perfect, even in its imperfection.
Which is?
Ibn's ghost.
His what?
Please don't take it literally, Mr. Chicken. I'm not talking about spirits. When Ibn died, I didn't just take his place, but also his role. He himself, his essence, if you will. Yeah, though I guess that's too much for you to understand.
So you mean Ibn's here with us even now?
He was here all along. Don't you get it? I am Hobart Ibn Wessler.
I must get serious, because looking at the gun in Wessler's trembling hand, I'm afraid I don't have much time. Albert is a cruel psychopath, but maybe I can turn that cruelty against him.
Wann haben sie sich entschieden, ihn zu töten, Albert?
When was the moment you decided to kill him, Albert?
When I drew the last stroke on that fatal painting, Mr. Featherland. When I glanced at it for the last time, and then at Natasha, who was shivering under the weight of my gaze.
You simply fell in love with her? End of story?
Not in the slightest, Mr. Featherland. Love is, just chemistry. What I felt was more than that.
Everybody thinks that, Albert. But we all feel the same. We're just fools.
No, Mr. Featherland. Not at all. At that moment, I knew what I was gonna do. I knew that the world was coming to an end if I didn't do it. It implodes on itself and ceases to exist. I couldn't let that happen. I couldn't.
Let him have her, right? You simply wanted her for yourself.
I wanted her for ourselves, Sonny. I was him by then. He just didn't know it yet.
Verwundet. Womit hatten sie verdient, dass Ibn sie einsperren ließ? Sie sind nur eine billige Kopie, das wissen sie, oder? Sie genossen es doch, alle an der Nase herumzuführen. Sie glauben also wirklich, dass sie alles mit ihrer Verrücktheit erklären können.
What did you do that made Ibn get you locked up?
That's a sharp turn, detective.
It just came to me, you know? Where did it all start? Where did all the hate and jealousy come from?
Jealousy? What are you talking about?
Oh, come on, Albert. Alone, locked up at the end of the world, while your brother is one of the most influential figures of Clawville, driving an expensive car, living in a mansion, with the city's most desirable woman in his bed. Why wouldn't you be jealous?
Yeah, Albert was jealous of Ibn. Maybe he still is. But I understand why he did it. Albert was beyond control and dangerous.
What does that mean, exactly?
Albert did our mother wrong. Poor old Mom. She never heard her fly. But Albert couldn't take that she was praising his brother all the time while Albert was just an unsuccessful, foolish, poor painter.
What did you do to her, Albert?
Albert killed her. It looked like an accident, but Eben knew it wasn't. That was the last straw. Albert had to be locked up, and he agreed. He never said no to his brother.
But he never forgot who did this to him either.
Eben was really good to him. Visited him every week. Did everything he could. Even introduced Natasha in the end.
And that was his downfall.
Both of them, Sonny. And yours, too.
Wann haben sich entschieden, dass auch wir zu sterben hätten? Haben sie ihm oder sich selbst mehr gehasst?
Did you hate Ibn or yourself more, Albert?
Albert hated himself the most ever since he was born. He idolized Ibn. But every time his brother stood before him, he saw what he could have been himself if he had enough strength. But he didn't. Albert had always been a coward, a pitiful nobody.
And now?
Finally, there's no more Albert. And no more Ibn either. It's only me, and for both of them, I'm perfect.
Can it be that the fear is making you say these things, Albert?
Stop calling me that.
I have to call you something. What should I call you? What name should I use?
I don't know anymore. I don't.
I'm very close to breaking him. But if I'm too hard on him, I could quickly be signing my death warrant. It's time to dig a little bit deeper and uncover Wessler's wounds.
Also ich würde mal sagen, Natascha war gut zu ihnen, nicht wahr? Zu gut ist besser, wie wenn sie noch Rückgrat hätten, hätten sie diese Waffe gegen sich selbst gerichtet.
Natasha was kind to you, right? Too kind.
Natasha was simply amazing, gentle, kind, lively, but still so distant.
You're telling me.
It's like she was from another world. A world where everything's full of charm and grace and everything's fragile and delicate. Do you understand?
I think I do, yes.
I knew Albert's touch would harm her. Albert is rough. Albert can't keep such a delicate thing in his arms.
That's why you had to become Ibn, am I right?
I didn't take Ibn's place, Mr. Featherland. I became one with him, can't you see? It's the only way I could comprehend and accept the miracle that was Natasha.
Was?
I think I've corrupted her. She's not that gentle and pure creature I painted on the canvas anymore. I ruined her. She became rotten under my hands.
Vielleicht ist es noch nicht zu spät, Albert. Erzählen Sie ihr die Wahrheit und beenden.
Maybe it's not too late, Albert. Tell her the truth and end this.
No. You can't understand this. She can't either. I killed Ibn, but he also killed me, can't you see? We're nothing without each other. Ibn loved her. I admired her. Ibn was crazy about her. I've been crazy for a long time. Ibn idolized her, and I hated her. And if there's anything more blind, more devoted, more extreme, and more true than love, it could only be hate, Mr. Featherland. It's an endlessly exciting, thrilling, and warm feeling. And infinitely red. Just like love.
You know you're not going to be able to go through with it, right? That you won't be able to carry the weight. But you still did it. Why?
Yeah, if I didn't kill him and become one with him, Albert would have died, Mr. Featherland.
And the threats? Which one of you was that? Albert or Ibn? Who wrote them? And which one of you killed Deborah?
In my world, Ibn and I are inseparable. Just like love and hate are one and the same. And I hate Natasha so much that I could destroy myself along with her, just so she would die with me. Are you familiar with this feeling, Mr. Featherland?
More than life itself.
You see? We're not so different after all.
You and I have nothing in common, Wessler. You know why?
Why, Mr. Featherland?
Because if I were in your shoes, I would have pulled the trigger a long time ago.
Goodbye, Sonny.
Oh.
So long, Albert.
Oh. Albert ist ihm Wessler. Der geisteskranke Albert hat den Platz seines Bruders eingenommen und versucht jetzt alle Spuren zu verwischen. Wenn wir ihn jetzt nicht überführen, ist es vielleicht zu spät. Ah, ich hab's geahnt. Ah, nee, Miezekatze.
So, you heard everything.
I heard everything.
I'm sorry you had to find out like this.
And thank you. If it weren't for you...
Yes, both of you would be dead, I know. But believe me, I still thought carefully before firing.
About who to target?
You know, I truly loved Ibn.
But this man wasn't him. You felt it, didn't you?
Maybe I even knew it. I don't know. But I still can't believe it.
It won't be easy to process for any of us.
I'm sorry I dragged you into this. And regarding Molly...
The cops. But how? How do they know?
I have no idea, Marty.
Do not look at me. I did not call them.
Olivia?
Don't worry, Natasha. They won't lay a finger on you. I promise.
Please, Sonny. You don't need to worry about me.
I don't want to be rude, Sonny, but I'm more worried about us than her. Hello, boss.
Hello, boys.
Before you say anything, we can explain.
No need for that, Santino. Monica already told me everything.
Monica?
Hey, boys. What were you thinking? That I would just let you get killed without saying goodbye?
Thanks, Mon. Should we say we owe you one?
You know already, boys. Shoes are my weakness.
Ja, wir können auch die
mine
Größe und wie
too.
sie aussehen sollen.
Of all that's furry, we don't want to hear that. And boys,
Yes, boss.
don't believe you'll get away with it so easily. I want a report on my desk from both of you with all the details. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It'll all make sense, believe us. Right after I figure out myself what the hell just happened.
What Marty's trying to tell you is that we had good reason to investigate outside the law. But we're sorry.
What happened to you, Sonny? You're sorry? Did you hit your head?
Why does everybody keep asking that?
Why indeed.
So can we go now, boss? Without getting handcuffed?
Don't give me ideas, Santino.
Thanks, boss.
Gut. Natascha hat uns in letzter Sekunde das Leben gerettet, nachdem Albert alles gestanden hatte. Damit sind wir fertig. Das war es also. Aber war das wirklich alles? Was für eine Überraschung. Letzten Endes war sie es, die abdrückte und uns rettete. Andererseits, ohne sie wären wir nie in diese Situation geraten. Das stimmt. Monika wusste, was wir vorhatten und informierte die Jungs gerade noch rechtzeitig. Wenn sie nicht wäre, hätten wir uns Wesslers Schergen vermutlich schon vollkommen durchlöchert. Das kleine, haarige Herz des alten Kerls hat sich am Ende doch erweichen lassen, oder? Es brauchte nur die Sturz eines Gangster-Imperiums, mehr nicht. Ja, easy. Albert glaubt allen Ernstes, dass er und ihm Wessler ein und dieselbe Person sind. Zwei Seelen in einem Körper. Ich weiß gar nicht, was ich von diesem Irrsinn halten soll. Eins steht aber fest. Albert ist eine gefährliche Bestie, der das Handwerk gelegt werden muss, komme was wolle. Albert hätte alles getan, um sein Geheimnis zu wahren, aber es war zu spät. Natascha hatte gespürt, dass etwas mit ihm nicht stimmte und Albert wusste, dass er nicht unerkannt bleiben würde. Ganz einfach, todeinfach.
So, what now? Where to next?
I think I should mourn, right?
You should.
But I don't know what to feel anymore, Sonny.
I understand, Natasha. You know, if you need anything,
Yes, I know where to find you.
see you around, sweetheart.
Ma'am?
Goodbye, detectives.
Mit 3 Ä.
How the hell did you find your way here, Tim? Always where the trouble is.
Sometimes I think you're the criminal mastermind behind all the dark dealings in this city.
I wish.
I wish too, because then we could legally throw you in jail.
I love your sense of humor, Sonny.
I wasn't joking.
So, where did you get the scoop?
Are you kidding me? The whole city's talking about you. You've left quite the mess behind.
That I admit.
Well, it's a miracle that all of the city's smear sheet journalists aren't here already. Oh, while we're at it, will you give me an exclusive interview?
Clock off, Tim.
Locker.
Hey!
Thanks again, Mon. If not for you, those furheads would have put holes in us.
No wonder, since you put holes in their boss.
Well, actually, that wasn't us.
Then who was it?
Natasha.
Really? I wouldn't have thought it of her. It's a pleasant surprise.
It was for us too, believe me.
What? Are you waiting for me to change my mind?
No, sir.
Then stop pecking around here.
Yes, sir.
Ja, und was soll ich jetzt noch machen?
And what about you, son?
I'll go home and sleep. Maybe for 3 days. I'll try to forget.
I'm sorry I dragged you into this. If there's anything I can do.
I'm not sorry, Natasha. It's better this way. We find out painful truths, but at least we see clearly now, don't we?
Yes, I think you're right.
Albert was madly in love with Natasha.
Just one quote, guys. They say you've taken down the whole Wessler Empire. They say...
I say you're full of shit, Tim, and you can quote me on that.
Hey, Olivia.
Marty?
I just, wanted to thank you
For what exactly?
for trying to save us.
I didn't do it only for you, believe me. I loved my job while I had it. Now my employee is dead, so I don't have a job anymore.
I didn't even think of that.
Of course you didn't.
Can I do anything to help?
I think I'll manage. I always...
You're a good boy, Bosco. Nice work.
Good boy.
You know, folks, somebody's gotta take care of the real police work while you're tearing up the city.
Sorry for the mess, Bosco, but you know us.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do.
How did you catch them? After the gunshot, I was sure these two would show up. They have a habit of doing that.
They were already in cuffs before then, Sonny. We had the house surrounded. If you could have hung on, maybe nobody would have died.
Hey, a second longer and it would have been us.
That's your story?
Cluck you sideways, Bosco.
Gut Stückchen.
Gentlemen.
Gentlemen?
We're honestly very sorry it had to end like this.
Yeah, this peacefully.
For myself, I'm glad, gentlemen. I would have sincerely regretted it if we had to shoot both of you, but unfortunately, that seemed to be the only solution to this, rather nasty situation. Fortunately, it didn't turn out that way. Joyful.
Don't think we'll be behind bars for long, chickens. Whistler may be dead, but his empire still won't crumble.
Oh, look at that. He can talk.
In complex sentences, too.
Yeah, or something like that.
Amazing.
Thank you.
We thank you, Natasha. You saved our lives.
But it was also me who endangered you in the first place, right?
Well, I won't argue about that. How did you know we were here?
I always pay attention, Sonny. And because I know you like you are my own nestlings.
No, I love it when you say pretty little things like that.
Don't get used to it, Marty.
Just one quote, guys. They say you've taken down the whole Whistler.
I say you.
Gut, den brauche ich ihn nochmal anquatschen. Ihn?
Santino, you're doing that on purpose?
No, sir. Never, sir.
Then get the fuck out of here.
Thank you.
We thank you, Nat. Well,
Ja, ja, bla. Wie soll ich denn hier...
If there's anything at all.
Thank you, Martin. There's no need for that.
Nice catch, Bosco. You can mount them on your wall as trophies.
Yeah, I wish I could, Sonny. I hope we'll meet again, gentlemen.
So do I, Shakespeare. And while you're sitting in your cell, you could teach your famous manners to your friend, too.
Maybe I will, Mr. Featherland.
I certainly hope so, pal.
Also ich gehe mal von aus, dass jetzt fertig ist, ne? Weil ich kann nicht mehr zur Map. Die wollen mich alle raushaben. Ich kann hier... Okay, die Villa
Look
kann
at
ich
all
noch
these
angucken.
plants. It's like nature's claiming back what's hers.
Yeah, amazing.
Strange how someone so...
Ja, dann würde ich sagen, dann war's das. Wir haben den Fall gelöst, sind nicht gestorben. Ich fand's ganz interessant, war mal was anderes, eine schöne Geschichte. Ja, ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Und ja, würde mich natürlich über ein Abo sehr freuen. Weil ich jetzt wahrscheinlich auch öfter Content machen würde. Soweit wie es die Zeit und die Energie hergibt. Und ja, ich hoffe, man hört, liest sich wieder.